clear instruction to the jurors that we're not being rude to them.
Yes.
You know,
Yes. And normally, I do that right before I swear them in, but we swore them in the morning, so I tried to remember,
thank you.
I will do that this afternoon, or this morning when they come in. All right, if we can go get the witness, though. Ms. Adkins, are we getting the witness?
Yes.
Okay. I'd like the witness on the stand when the jury's here. Sir, you can come back in, and I'd like you on the stand as if you were yesterday, sir. All right? And you're still under oath. And at this point, let's go get the jury, please. All right. And if there are individuals coming in, I do have a sign on my door because I have a senior judge covering my docket sounding today, so there may be probably some people who walk in and some confusion, because even with a sign, some people don't read it.
Jury is present.
You may be seated. All right, I hope everyone had a good evening. I did want to state one thing as well this morning. If you see the attorneys outside of this courtroom, either coming in the morning or leaving in the afternoon or on breaks or recesses or otherwise, and they do not say anything to you, not even hello, it's not because they're being rude or discourteous to you. They're not allowed to talk to you about the case, and they're just making sure there's not any appearance of any improper contact with you. So I just wanted to make sure that all the jurors were aware of that as well. We are going to continue with our witness from yesterday. At this point, the state was still in the middle of their questioning. So Ms. Adkins, you may continue your direct examination.
Thank you, Your Honor. May it please the court. And we can have the overhead.
All right, you may proceed.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Rubart.
Good morning.
Yesterday, we left off with our discussion of the kitchen. I'll show you again for you. It states 19. Today, I want to begin our discussions going through your investigation of the gym within the home. I'm showing counsel what's been marked for identification as states triple H through triple Z. Permission to approach the witness.
You may.
I'm showing the witness what's been marked for identification as states triple H through triple Z. If you could please look through these exhibits. you recognize these exhibits?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize them?
They are photographs that I took at the scene.
Are they a fair and accurate depiction of what you observed at the scene on January 25th of 2019?
Yes, they are.
Permission to move states triple H through triple Z into evidence as states next.
No objection, Your Honor.
What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3H will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 67 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3I will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 68 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3J will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 69 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3K will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 70 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3L will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 71 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3M as in Mary will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 72 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3N as in Nancy will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 73 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 30 will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 74 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3P will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 75 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3Q will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 76 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3R will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 77 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3S will be moved into evidence in State's Exhibit 78 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3T will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 79 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3U will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 80 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3V will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 81 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3W will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 82 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3X will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 83 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3Y will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 84 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 3Z will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 85 in evidence.
Permission to publish?
You may.
Mr. Rubart, I'm showing you states 67. What is this a photograph of?
This is a photograph looking down the hallway between the gym and the kitchen towards the gym.
Okay. And can you make any observations of this photograph?
You have one spent cartridge case here on the floor. The laundry room here is on the left, bathroom is on the right, and the gym is at the far end of the hallway there.
And I'm going to show you again states 19. Can you please indicate from which direction this photograph was taken?
This photograph was taken right here at the west end of the eating area, and it was looking west towards the gym.
I'm now showing you state 68 in evidence. Can you please describe this photograph?
This is standing in the doorway of the gym, and on the ground here is one spent cartridge case. We have a weight bench here. Here is a door going out to the back porch area, and in the top left corner is the decedent, Cody Amato.
I'm now showing you state 69. What is this a photograph of?
This is a close-up photograph of the spent cartridge case that was on the floor of the gym.
And is that the same cartridge case in state 68?
Yes, it is.
Now showing you states 70. Can you please describe this photograph?
This is looking westward through the doorway here leading into the garage. And there is the body of the decedent, Cody Amato. Right here is a firearm on the ground. Here's that doorway out to the back porch. And then you have a weight bench here. And then another a piece of gym equipment here on the left.
I'm showing you state 71. Is this a closer image of state 70?
Yes, it is. You can see in the image, here is the firearm. Here is a gray small backpack that had suspected blood on it. And there is the body of the decedent, Cody Amato.
Now showing you state 72.
This is a photograph standing in the doorway to the garage from the gym, looking downward at the body of Cody Amato. Here is that gray backpack.
And to your knowledge, did law enforcement previously open this door leading into the garage?
Yes, they did.
Now showing you state 73.
Here is a close-up image of that firearm that was on the floor of the gym next to Cody Amato.
Now showing you states 74. Can you please describe this photograph and any observations you've made?
Here is a mid-range shot showing where the firearm is on the ground of the gym, and then that gray backpack that had the suspected blood on it. This is also standing in the doorway leading to the garage from the gym.
And behind the backpack, can you make any observations?
There is a pool of suspected blood here on the carpet.
I'm now going to show you state 75. What observations do you make in this photograph?
Here is a close-up image of the face of the decedent, Cody Amato. You can see there is blood, or suspected blood, on his right ear, and suspected blood on his face. And right here is a suspected gunshot wound.
Now showing you states 76. What is this a photograph of?
This is a photograph of the corner, the northwest corner of the gym. Here's that doorway leading to the garage. This right here is a suspected ricochet impact mark from a suspected projectile. And here is a suspected projectile hole in the wall of the gym near the corner.
And did you make any observations of the door frame?
Yes, the door frame here has some suspected blood and tissue, as well as the ricochet mark right there.
Now showing you state 77. Is this a closer image of state 76?
Yes, it is.
And what is this a photograph of?
It shows the suspected impact ricochet mark from a projectile.
And can you make any observations of the door frame in this photograph?
Although it's a little out of focus, you can see here is some suspected pieces of tissue and blood.
Now showing you state 78. What is this a photograph of?
This is another photograph looking at the suspected ricochet mark here on the frame of the doorway to the garage, and then the suspected projectile hole in the wall of the gym. You can see here there's a couple dots of suspected tissue and or suspected blood.
And using your laser pointer, can you please indicate to the jury the suspected tissue and suspected blood?
Right here, right there, right there.
Now showing you state 79 in evidence. Can you please indicate to the jury what this is a photograph of?
This is a close-up image of that door frame. You can see here is the ricochet mark, and then these are spots of suspected blood and tissue.
I'm going to zoom up. Using your laser pointer, can you please indicate specifically where you see suspected blood and tissue?
Here's an area of suspected blood and tissue. There's another area, another area there. Some more areas of suspected tissue. And then here's another area of suspected tissue.
And this is all within the door frame?
That's correct.
Now showing you states 80 in evidence. Can you please describe this photograph to the jury?
This is a photograph looking down at the threshold of the doorway leading from the gym to the garage. You can see there's a large pool of suspected blood here, and there is some blood on this metal threshold here, and then there's an area of suspected blood spatter here on the door frame and there.
I'm going to zoom in, and if you could please indicate for the jury exactly where you see suspected blood.
Suspected blood is right here in the door frame.
And I'll zoom in.
Right there on the door frame there is a suspected blood spatter. Here's another area of suspected blood spatter. Here's an area of suspected blood here on the threshold, on both sides of the threshold where the door would come in contact if it's shut.
Do you see any suspected blood on the outside of that metal frame?
Yes, there's also an area here on the garage floor and right there.
I'm going to zoom up. If you could please, using your laser pointer.
Here's a spot of suspected blood, spot of suspected blood there, and a spot of suspected blood right there.
I'm going to move to the outer door frame. Can you please indicate if you see any suspected blood?
Here's an area of suspected blood spatter here on the frame, and then here on the frame too.
Now now showing you states 81. Can you please indicate to the jury what this is a picture of?
This is a photograph of that backpack that was on the floor between the firearm and the body of Cody Amato. And you can see there's some suspected blood on that bag.
I'm going to show you again. State 71. Is that the backpack you are referring to depicted in States 81?
Yes, it is.
And again, showing you States 81. Can you please, using your laser pointer, indicate where you see suspected blood?
I see suspected blood right here on the bag, and right here on the bag, and right here on the bag.
Did you have an opportunity to go through the contents of that bag?
Yes, I did.
Now showing you a photograph of States 82 in evidence. Can you please tell us what this is a photograph of?
This is a photograph of a cell phone clip that was located in the bag.
And this is, you located this in the same bag depicted in States 81?
Yes, I did.
I'm now showing you a photograph of States 83. Can you please indicate to the jury what this is a photograph of?
This is a metallic card holder that was in the backpack.
And again, the same backpack indicated it in States 81.
That is correct.
Showing you a photograph of States 84. What is this a photograph of?
This is a photograph of the other side of that card holder.
Did you have an opportunity to observe the contents in States 84?
Yes, I did.
I'm showing you a photograph of States 85 in evidence. What is this a photograph of?
This is a photograph of the cards that were contained in that card holder.
And for the record, can you please indicate specifically what types of cards you located?
Yes, I located a Delta Dental card, a concealed weapons permit for Cody Amato, a Florida driver's license for Cody Amato, a car insurance card for Cody Amato, a United Healthcare card for Cody Amato, a AAA card for Cody Amato, a Drive Shack card for Cody Amato, a Fun card, and a card from Top Golf.
Were these all of the cards that you located within that card holder?
Yes, they were.
Did you locate any other cards within the backpack in States 81?
No, I did not.
Now, of the cards that you found, did you locate any forms of payment?
No, I did not.
Did you locate any credit cards?
No, I did not.
Did you locate any debit cards?
No, I did not.
Now, we just discussed the backpack depicted in photograph 81. So I want to begin by showing, I'm going to show council states 13K for identification, 13Y, 14A, 13L, 13M, and 13W. Permission to approach the witness. I'm showing you what's been marked for identification as states 13K. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize it?
It has my handwriting on the front of the bag. It has a unique case number with my initials, and my initials are on the red evidence tape sealing the bag.
And is this exhibit in substantially the same condition as when you collected it for evidence?
Yes, it is.
Permission to move states 13K into evidence as states next.
Any objection?
Subject to our prior motion, Judge.
All right, objections overruled. Then as to 13K, what's been pre-marked for ID as 13K will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 86 as evidence.
Now showing you states 13L for identification. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize it?
My handwriting's on the front of the envelope, the unique case number and my initials are on the red evidence tape sealing the envelope.
And what is contained in this exhibit?
The card holder from the gray bag.
And is this exhibit in substantially the same condition as when you packaged it for evidence?
Yes, it is.
Now showing you states 13M for identification. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize it?
I recognize it because my handwriting is on the envelope, the unique case number and my initials, and the initials sealing the red evidence tape on the envelope.
And what is contained in this exhibit?
Miscellaneous cards from the card holder.
And is this exhibit in substantially the same condition as when you packaged it for evidence?
Yes, it is.
I'm showing you states 13W for identification. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
What is contained in this exhibit?
Inside this exhibit is a set of keys from the gray bag.
And is this exhibit in substantially the same condition as when you packaged it for evidence?
Yes, it is.
I'm showing you what's been marked as states 14A for identification. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize it?
My handwriting is on the front of the envelope, the unique case number, and my initials. And my initials are on the red evidence tape sealing the envelope.
And what is contained in this exhibit?
This is a watch, a pen, and an ID badge from Orlando Health collected from Cody Amato.
And is this exhibit in substantially the same condition as when you collected it for evidence?
Yes, it is.
And finally, I'm showing you states 13Y for identification. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize it?
My unique My handwriting is on the front of the bag, the unique case number, and my initials, as well as my initials are on the red evidence tape sealing the bag.
And what is contained in this exhibit?
Inside this bag is a pen, a chapstick, earbuds, a cell phone charger cord, a protein bar wrapper, all from the gray bag.
And is this exhibit in substantially the same condition as when you packaged it for evidence?
Yes, it is.
At this time, State would ask permission to move States 13L, 13M, 13W, 13Y, and 14A into evidence as States next.
Objection on the prior motion, Judge.
Objection overruled.
Monica.
Pre-mark 13L for ID will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 87. What's been pre-marked as 13M for ID will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 88. What's been pre-marked for ID as 13W will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 88. What's been pre-marked for ID as 13Y will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 89, and what's been in evidence and what's been pre-marked for ID as 14A will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 90 in evidence. Did I say 88 twice? I thought 13M is 88, 13W is 89, 13Y is 90. And then 14A is 91.
14A was 91?
Yes.
Yes, thank you.
At this time, the state would ask permission to publish States 86, 89, 88, 87, 90, and 91. Starting with Exhibit 86. Mr. Rubart, do you see suspected blood on this backpack?
Yes, I do.
Can you please point on the backpack of where you see suspected blood?
There's suspected blood on the front here, as well as suspected blood on the back. That's all that I see.
Permission to walk the exhibit in front of the jury? specifically were these keys located?
These keys were in the gray backpack.
Now showing you states 87. Can you please publish 87 to the jury? Now showing you states 88. Can you please publish to the jury? And again, were these all the cards that you located within the card holder?
Yes, they were.
Now showing you states 90. Can you please open this package? For the record, what are you holding up?
This is a pen, a roll of chapstick, an empty protein bar wrapper, a earbuds.
When you say earbuds, can you please open that? What is located inside?
These are earbuds that go in the ear to listen to music, or
And would these connect to an iPhone or a cell phone?
yes. Then you have a cell phone charger.
And how do you know it's a cell phone charger?
It's consistent with what I know to be a cell phone charger. It's got an end here that would be consistent with an Apple device, and a plug there.
For the record, I'm publishing the phone charger. As well as the earbuds. And if you could please open States 91. For the record, what are you holding up for the jury?
A wristwatch
Where was the wristwatch located?
on the wrist of Cody Amato. Here is a pen
And for the record, where was the pen located?
in I believe one of the pockets of his shirt.
And for the record, what are you holding up?
I'm holding up a ID badge for Cody Amato from Orlando Health.
For the record, I am publishing the ID badge from Orlando Health. Mr. Rubart, can you make any observations of this ID badge?
Yes, there is some suspected blood on the ID badge.
Is this a suspected blood that you indicated?
Yes, it is.
And again, where did you locate this ID badge?
This was attached to Cody's scrub top.
Now, Mr. Rubart, through your investigation of when you found Cody Amato, you indicated you found a phone holder, a phone charger, and earbuds that would connect to an Apple device. Did you locate any phones on Cody Amato?
No, I did not.
Did you locate any cell phones in the backpack that you located?
No, I did not.
Did you locate any cell phones within the gym that you investigated?
No, I did not.
And just to be clear, did you locate a cell phone in any of the pockets of Cody Amato?
No, I did not.
you previously indicated in states 68 that you located a cartridge case, is that correct?
That is correct.
Did you collect that cartridge case for evidence?
Yes, I did.
Like I'm showing council what's been marked for identification as 14F. Now I'll also show council 14G. Permission to approach the witness. Showing the witness what's been marked for your identification as states 14F. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
Does this exhibit contain the cartridge case that you located on the gym floor?
Yes, it does.
If you could please open the package. And what is this package of?
This is a small manila envelope that has number 5, representing marker 5, and has the spent cartridge case.
And how do you know that to be the cartridge case that you located on the gym floor?
Because it's consistent with what I marked as marker 5.
And is this exhibit substantially the same condition as when you packaged it and collected it for evidence?
Yes, it is, with the exception of there's another piece of red tape at the bottom.
Permission to move 4B into evidence and states next.
Any objection?
Subject to our prior motion, Judge.
Objection overruled. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4B will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 92 in evidence.
Permission to publish states 92. Did you also locate a projectile from the gym?
Yes, I did.
Where did you locate the projectile?
It was in the wall underneath the suspected projectile hole.
Now showing you states 78 in evidence. Is this the hole you were referring to?
Yes, it is.
And is this where you located the projectile?
The projectile had actually fallen down into the wall, so I located it at the bottom near the gym floor.
And how did you retrieve the projectile?
I cut a hole into the wall.
And if you could, please refer to your package of 14G. Inside, do you recognize that exhibit?
Yes, I do.
Inside that exhibit, does it contain the projectile that you located from the gym wall?
Yes, it does.
And how do you know that to be the projectile located from the gym wall?
I had labeled that suspected projectile hole in the wall with scale E, so then I marked E on my envelope.
And is that projectile in substantially the same condition as when you packaged it for evidence?
Yes, it is, with the exception of 2 additional pieces of red tape.
At this time, the state would ask to move 4A into evidence and states next.
Object on our prior motion, Judge.
All right, objection overruled. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4A will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 93 in evidence.
Permission to publish, states 93. Mr. Rubart, you previously indicated State 71. That you located a firearm, is that correct?
That is correct.
Did you collect that firearm for evidence?
Yes, I did.
I'm showing counsel what's been marked as States 4C for identification. Permission to approach the witness. I'm showing the witness what's been marked as States 4C for identification. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize it?
My handwriting is on the front of the box, as well as the unique case number and my initials. And my initials are on the red evidence tape seal in the box.
And what is contained within this exhibit?
Inside this box is a Smith & Wesson M&P 9 9mm Luger caliber firearm with 1 magazine.
And is this exhibit in substantially the same condition as when you packaged it for evidence?
Yes, it is.
Permission to move States 4C into evidence as States next.
Objection overruled. What's been pre-marked as for ID as 4C will be moved into evidence as States Exhibit 94 in evidence.
Permission to publish. With the assistance
Give
of
it,
the deputy.
yeah, give it to the deputy.
Scissors. Now, Mr. Rubart, what type of bullets did you locate within that firearm located on the gym floor?
There was 1 live round in the chamber of the firearm and 4 live rounds in the magazine.
If you need to refer to your notes, do you happen to recall the brand of live rounds that you located?
If I could refer to my notes?
Would it refresh your memory?
Yes, it would.
Or if it is.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Has your memory been refreshed?
Yes, it has.
Okay. Do you recall the brand?
All of the live rounds had a head stamp of PMC 9mm Luger.
Now, did you attempt to swab what's now been put into evidence as 94 for any possible DNA?
Yes, I did.
How did you do this?
I collected swabs from the grip, trigger, and slide of the firearm, as well as from the front and rear sights of the firearm, and a swab was also collected from the end of the barrel of the firearm.
And what is the purpose of swabbing the firearm?
To try to obtain a DNA profile.
Showing counsel was pre-marked for identification as 14C, 14D, and 14E. Permission to approach the witness. Showing the witness what's been pre-marked as states 14C, 14D, and 14E for identification. Do you recognize these exhibits?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize them?
All three envelopes have my handwriting on the front, as well as the case number and my initials, and all are sealed with red evidence tape that has my initials on them.
And what are contained in these exhibits?
14C is one swab from the grip, trigger, and slide of the firearm. 14D is one swab from the rear and front sights of the firearm. And 14E is one swab from the end of the barrel of the firearm.
Permission to move states 14C, 14D, and 14E into evidence as states next.
Objection to prior motion, Judge.
Objection overruled. What's been pre-marked as 14C will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 95 and evidence. What's been pre-marked as 14D will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 96 and evidence. And what's been pre-marked as 14E will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 97 and evidence.
Showing counsel what's been pre-marked for identification as 14H. Permission to approach the witness.
You may.
Showing the witness what's been pre-marked for identification as states 14H. I believe we discussed this yesterday, but do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
What is this an exhibit of?
It is an envelope that contains one swab from the head stamps of the 4 spent cartridge cases located in the home.
And how exactly did you swab the cartridges?
One swab was collected from the head stamps of the 4 spent cartridge cases.
And what was the swab to help you indicate?
I collected the swab in order to obtain a DNA profile.
And were these from the 4 cartridge casings that you located in the office, kitchen, and gym of the home?
Yes, they were.
Permission to move states 14H into evidence as states next.
Objection to prior motion, Judge.
Objection overruled. What's been pre-marked for ID as 14H will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 98 in evidence.
Showing counsel what's been pre-marked as 13J for identification. Permission to approach the witness. Showing the witness what's been pre-marked as states 13J for identification. Do you recognize this exhibit?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize it?
I recognize it because of my handwriting on the front of the envelope, as well as the case number and my initials. And my initials are on the red evidence tape sealing the envelope.
And what is this an exhibit of?
Of a cell phone holder.
And where was this cell phone holder located?
It was located in the gray bag.
And was this the gray bag located by Cody Amato?
That is correct.
And is this exhibit in substantially the same condition as when you collected it for evidence?
It has an additional red piece of evidence tape as well as a yellow sticker on it.
This time the state would move 13J into evidence as states next.
Pre-marked as State's Exhibit 13J for ID will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 98 in evidence. 99 in evidence.
Permission to publish? For the record, I'm publishing states 99. And Mr. Rubart, does this cell phone holder contain a clip?
Yes, it does.
And again, did you locate any cell phones within the cell phone holder?
No, I did not.
I'm now showing council what's been pre-marked for identification as 4J through 4R. For D, through 4I, and 14N as in Nancy. And 4S. Through 4S through 4Z, as well as 5B, 14O, 14P, and 14Q. Permission to approach the witness.
You may.
Showing the witness what's been pre-marked for identification as states 4D through 4I and 14N as in Nancy.
Okay.
Do you recognize these exhibits?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize them?
These are photographs that I took in the home.
Are they a fair and accurate depiction of your investigation that you conducted on January 25th of 2019?
Yes, it was. Yes, they are.
Now showing you 4J through 4R. Do you recognize these exhibits?
Yes, I do.
How do you recognize them?
These are photographs that I took in the home.
Are they a fair and accurate depiction of the investigation you conducted at 2112 Sultan Circle?
Yes, they are.
Now showing you, it's been pre-marked as states 4S through 4Z, 5B as in boy, 14O, 14P, and 14Q for identification. Do you recognize these exhibits?
Yes, I do.
And what are the exhibits of?
They are photographs that I took in the home.
Are they a fair and accurate depiction of the investigation you conducted at 2112 Sultan Circle?
Yes, they are.
Permission to move states 4D through 4I and 14N into evidence and states next.
No objection, Your Honor.
What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4D will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 99 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4E will be moved. It is 100. I apologize. 100 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4E will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 101 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4F will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 102 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4G will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 103 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4H will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 104 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4I will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 105 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 14N will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 106 in evidence. And that was 14N as in Nancy?
Yes.
Sorry, Judge, what was 14 and what number?
105.
Thank you.
Permission to move states 4J through 4R into evidence and states next.
Any objection?
No objection, Judge.
What's been, actually, wait a second, let me look. I'm sorry, states at 14N was actually 106, Mr. Dowdy, not 105.
101.
Okay.
Thank you, Judge.
What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4J will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 107 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4K will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 108 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4L will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 109 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as 4M as in Mary will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 110 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4N will, as in Nancy, will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 111 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 40 will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 112 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4P will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 113 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4Q will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 114 in evidence. What's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 4R will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 115 in evidence.
permission to move states 4S through 4Z, 5B, 14O, 14P, as in Paul, and 14Q. And 2 evidence of states next.
Any objection?
I'd like the board diary on is it 4U and 4V at this time?
It- I'm sorry, are you saying 5B,
No, 4U and 4V?
4U and 4V?
Yes.
All right,
Is that what you just announced?
no. Can you all approach? All right. All right, so at this point, what's been indicated as State's Exhibit 4S will be moved in, for ID, will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 116. What's Exhibit 4T will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 117. What's Exhibit 4U will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 118 in evidence. What's Exhibit 4W will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 119. What's Exhibit 4X will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 120. What's Exhibit 4Y will, for ID, will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 121 in evidence. What's State's Exhibit 4Z will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 122 in evidence. What's Exhibit 5B will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 123. And then it was 14O, what's been pre-marked as 14O will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 124 in evidence, what's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 14P will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 125 in evidence, and what's been pre-marked for ID as State's Exhibit 14Q will be moved into evidence as State's Exhibit 126, and the court reserves as to quadruple V.
Judge, I believe you admitted 4U in the evidence?
4U I allowed in evidence.
You allowed in the evidence, and that was the,
No. 4V I did not allow into evidence. And I have 4V up here.
same objection for 4B.
Why don't we do this? We've been going for about an hour and a half, so why don't we take our recess, morning recess at this point, okay?